Last time I stood up in front of a crowd of people, some of them got quite angry because apparently they wanted to watch the film. So, how are you all tonight? Everyone okay?
Brilliant.
Excellent. And what was that? How are you, John? Thank you very much. It's nice of you to ask. Well, actually, I'm feeling my age a little bit. Ever since I passed 50, I started feeling a little bit older and a bit creakier. And it doesn't help that I keep getting hate mail just before every one of my birthdays. It's the sort of thing that goes something like, you're really old, you're going to die soon, don't be a selfish bastard, buy some life insurance, leave something for your loved ones. And the only other mail I seem to get is like little catalogues that show me how to buy nice comfort fit trousers with elasticated waistbands. The other thing I've noticed is my testicles. My testicles are getting lower and lower. Each year, my testicles seem to be closer to my knees than they are to my groin. It's a very common problem for people, and this bit of the evening is actually a sort of public service. So, is anybody here with their man? Any ladies with their husbands?
Woo!
Ladies with husbands, that's brilliant. Any girlfriends with their boyfriends?
Yay!
Any partners with their partners, I suppose. Okay, it doesn't really matter, and even if you're not with somebody, just the nearest guy to you, what I need you to do, you don't need to delve very far on this one. Don't get overexcited. This is completely scientific, you're completely safe. I just need you to have a quick look down the back of their trousers and try to ascertain what underwear they're wearing. Okay, so if you could just do that for me, please, everybody. Okay, if you know what they're wearing already, that's absolutely fine. Right, okay, show of hands. Who found a thong? Who found a mankini at the back there? That counts as a thong as well, that's absolutely fine. And another thong over here. And what about some nice little supportive trunks? Anybody find some supportive? No, none of those. Boxers. How about boxers? Just as I thought, you see, bigger cheer for the boxers. Anybody go commando? Anybody in here going commando? Okay, we've got a couple of commandos as well. And this is the problem. It's all very well when you're young and you're tight, but later on, when you get to my age, you're going to wish you had a bit more of a sort of supportive grundy. Just hold them up a little bit. It's a very, very common problem. It happens to everybody. Most of you probably think that Michael Jackson's trademark move, you know, the sort of move, most people actually think he did that to look sexy and hot. Of course, most people, apart from me of course, most people if they go woo are going to look sexy and hot. But actually it's not true. He used to do that move, apparently, without the hand. He just used to go to the front of the audience, until one night he nearly took somebody's eye out. And from that moment on, his insurance company insisted on the hand. It can actually be, hang on a minute, I'm getting a bit, I quite like them both to be one either side of the trousers so that it's just a little bit more comfortable. It can be a bit of a problem. About a year or so ago I went to Shanghai and I decided to go up into, the tallest building apparently well it was the tallest, it's now the second tallest building in the world. Clever people, these Chinese. They basically charge you 25 quid to ride an elevator up into a tower block of offices. But anyway, I paid my money and I went up there and I was doing the tourist thing, looking at the views. And then I heard this little old lady next to me, and she was saying that they had high-tech toilets. Apparently they washed your bottom for you. So I thought, oh, I'm having a bit of that. There's no way I'm missing out on that one. So I didn't need to go to the toilet, but I shot straight along to the toilets, sat down on this toilet. It was fantastic. As you sit down, this little panel comes out in front of you. It's like sitting in a jet plane. It's got like a little menu of bum washes. It's a sort of arse a la carte, really. There was a bit of a problem because I don't speak Chinese, don't read Chinese, but I recognised the man symbol and I wasn't going to let it stop me, so I pressed the man symbol, pressed a few more buttons to see what was going to happen. I sat and I waited, and this little handle came out from between my cheeks. It aimed, and then it just washed me gently with some nice warm water. It was quite pleasant, but it wasn't the thrill I wanted, so I thought I'll have another go. Press the button again, and there's one symbol on there I did recognise, it had a plus button, so I pressed it, plus, and I waited. the handle came out again. It aimed until it was pointing exactly up my bumhole. And then has anybody here ever seen the Great Geyser in Iceland erupting? This toilet can do a perfect impression. The water shot so high I nearly drowned. And then, you want to get one of these? It's really, really good. The late old lady that I actually spoke about first of all, she came out and said she'd been violated by the toilet. Anyway, the adventure wasn't over. I wanted to know the difference between the man button and the lady button. So I pressed the lady button. Very, very clever. This machine knows that you ladies have to wash and wipe from the front to the back. Only problem was I hadn't used the minus button to turn the intensity down. This little handle came out a little bit further. The nozzle pointed back towards me and aimed at my testicles. I waited. Now, you've probably all seen the Rocky movies, haven't you? Sylvester Stallone, he runs up the step, and he does the fast skipping, all that sort of stuff, and then he goes up to the punch bag. That jet of water hit my testicles faster than Sly Stallone can actually box. I don't know whether there was more water pouring off my balls or more water pouring down my cheeks and tears. And there. I had a second problem. About a week or so ago, I actually stayed with a friend who has some mobility problems. He's had a lift fitted over his bath. I thought, well, this looks rather good. So I decided to run myself a bath. You can probably tell by now I've got this sort of sense of adventure. I like to try things. So I thought I'd try this bath lift out. Ran myself a lovely bath, strapped myself in, one round my waist. Controls this time really, really easy. Green button to go, red button to stop. So I pressed the green button. Everything began to tighten. And I was lifted gently off the floor, swaying. And I was lifted up and over the bath. As I looked down, I could see the water steaming, and I realised that I hadn't bothered testing the temperature of the water. A microsecond later, I realised my testicles were now at the lowest part of my body. Now, I don't know about you other gentlemen here, but my testicles have never been my favourite part of the anatomy to test hot water. I began to panic a little bit. I pressed the stop button. All the stop button seemed to do is pause the programme, lift me up a bit, and then put me back down again. I ended up trying to support myself on the sides of the bath with my feet and my hands. My testicles were about that far away from being boiled in the bag sweetmeats. It's actually not all that bad. I've actually been thinking about this set and writing, and I came up with a really good idea for a new TV programme. I actually thought, Bruce Forsyth, he's finished Strictly Come Dancing now, he's going to need another programme. So I've written out my format and I've sent it into the BBC. It's going to be called Bruce's Play Your Generation Game Right. It's a very, very simple concept. What you basically have is a conveyor belt with prizes. And the contestants have to choose the old gentleman who they think is most likely to knock the prizes off for them. He's called out, he crouches over, everything's swinging, the conveyor belt actually starts, and Brucey sits down the end saying, higher, higher, lower, lower. I've not heard back from the BBC yet, which probably means that they're considering it carefully. And I guess really, you've heard enough of my old bollocks, so I really better be going. So thank you very much for listening to me, and good night. Thank you.